Good afternoon, Tony Datino. As we may be able to tell, I am back in Florida. Here in Windermere, Florida. I arrived back here yesterday afternoon, and it's nice to be back to the warmer weather. And though it's a little bit of a cloudy day, and I'm back to my schedule for Live with Tony's. And as I come back, I've got a whole stack of mail. So I've got stacks and stacks of mail and things that I'm reading and trying to catch up on in between appointments and things that I'm trying to get accomplished and done. And it really brings me to two articles that really kind of became the essence of my talk today, which is from the Cleveland Clinic. In the April issue, it talks about an article here that says slow memory decline with 6 healthy lifestyle habits. And you may have heard about these 6 healthy lifestyle habits through the Live with Tony broadcast I've done over the last 6 months, and certainly from the 6 key factors for long-term brain health. But here we go. 6 positive lifestyle behaviors are associated with a slower rate of memory decline in older adults, so says a research report. And we've certainly talked about those 6 healthies, though we'll see if we're going to match up. I think we are, as we go through the 6 that they come up with Cleveland Clinic. We may have a couple of others that we have in our Maximum and Memory Mastery and or our 6 key factors for brain health. But they took 29,000 people. This was a significant piece of study, and they had questionnaires about their lifestyles. The participants were placed into favorable groups if they had 4 to 6 lifestyle factors, and they put the others in a different group, and they did a 10-year follow-up period. Those in the unfavorable and average groups had slower memory decline. Those in the unfavorable and the average groups had slower memory decline compared with their counterparts in the unfavorable group, the study found. Those healthy lifestyle habits may help slow age-related decline in your memory, and the more of these behaviors you adopt, the better. So that's almost, God, I'm reading this to you. During the 10-year study, those in the unfavorable and average groups had slower memory decline. That's almost contradictory to what they're saying, slow memory decline with 6 habits. So in any case, let me tell you what the 6 habits are. Somebody's got to reread what they wrote here. I think there's a little bit of a blip. They reviewed the 29,000 people, and they were placed into a favorable group if they were doing 4 or more of these healthy things. So what were the healthy things? Let's get to the heart of this, because this is what we've been finding in the research we've done. Do they have a good diet? We know nutrition has a major impact. I just finished reading a New Scientist article that talked about the importance of nutrition, its impact on electricity in the body. We know that the body has got electricity going through it. The breakdown of what we eat has a major impact on those things. So what we eat now can convert itself over to electricity and chemistry as well. So we have to have a healthy lifestyle in terms of nutrition. What else do we need to have? A moderate amount of exercise. And if you want to, moderate is 150 of not killing yourself. You want to intensify yourself a little, 75 minutes of vigorous exercise per week. So like running or weightlifting, walking up and down steps. Maybe you want to do an elliptical, treadmill, bike riding. So again, 75 to 150 is the range of intensity to moderate. And what we know is that exercise brings oxygen to the body, and we know our brain is using up a good chunk of that oxygen. So the better our oxygen levels are, the purer the fuel is we're bringing to our bodies, right? We're running on high octane, the better off that is in terms of our overall brain health and memory. Social engagement at least twice a week. Now that was interesting, social engagement. And we know through the pandemic that and we're seeing this with kids. I did this broadcast on Sunday that just caused me to go a little nuts. And that was social engagement, the importance of not isolating and or feeling lonely. And that's been around for years, and yet the science would have told us lockdowns were going to create significant negative impacts, especially on kids. And we're seeing that. We saw it on the Sunday morning CBS show and what's happening to kids and their impact in psychology and depression and suicides, etc. And what we know is social interactions are important. It tells our bodies we're alive, our brains are alive, our being is alive. So social impacts are critical. And then it's cognitive activities. So when we talk about cognitive activities, we talk about mental challenges, which is one of the benefits we see to people going through the Maximum Memory Mastery online work, because it puts people through focus and learning new skills and the items that help with your memory. And what we're finding here is it's a cognitive activity. So writing, reading different books and papers and stuff like that, playing a cognitively challenging game, like a memory competition. How's that for a challenging game? And see how your memory stacks up against somebody else's. And at least twice a week, never a form of smoking and refraining from alcohol. So we got our 4 activities, and if we never smoked and or we refrain from alcohol consumptions, we're on the right side and the right page of the things for a healthy brain and minimizing memory decline. They were categorized into an average group if they had 2 or 3 factors, and into an unfavorable group if they had 0. And so that was the first thing that I wanted to share with you. Then comes University of Massachusetts, Mind, Mood, and Memory. How being a lifelong learner reinforces memory and sharpens thinking skills and helps with our mood. Acquiring new information and new skills throughout your life stimulates the brain and provides significant benefits. So now what do we talk about learning? And so we're now working on a course for middle-aged kids, middle school kids, learning to learn. So when have we learned how we learn from a brain's point of view? Who have taught us these things? So how do we learn? Numerous studies in recent years demonstrate that the kind of stimulation associated with lifelong learning promotes neuroplasticity, meaning it promotes the continued growth and health of the brain, which is essentially the brain's ability to reorganize itself and respond to changes, including Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. I got to read that to you one more time. This is so significant, what we're learning today. And this is why we continue to promote the USA Memory Championship, which you can find on our website, obviously, promoting the Maximum Memory Mastery, promoting the 6 key factors, because all of them together make a difference. And here comes numerous studies demonstrate the cognitive stimulation associated with lifelong learning and how it promotes neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to reorganize and respond to changes. So are we seeing changes come at us on a regular basis right now? All you have to do is watch the news every day and you'll see changes that are taking place, whether we like them or not. They're happening. So how do we adapt to those changes and maintain healthy brains? So how being a lifelong learner reinforces memory and sharpens thinking skills and elevates our mood. Boy, do we need some of that right now. A study published in Neurology suggests that continual learning over a lifetime protects the brain and boosts what is being called cognitive reserve, the brain's resistance to aging and disease. Cognitive reserve refers to how the brain best uses its available resources. So it's another way of saying, God, are we building some muscle, not just here in our bods, but are we building some extra reserve up here in our brain? And more research is showing and proving that exercising your brain in some form of mental challenge or activities, as this one article we're sharing from the Cleveland Health Newsletter, is backed up by what Massachusetts General's newsletter is saying on Mind, Mood, and Memory, which is you want to stay active throughout your life in learning, reading, studying, maybe taking a course at college, maybe letting the kids grandkids or the kids share things with you that they're learning in school, but you want to become a lifelong learner, not because it reinforces memory, and boy, how many people are worried about losing their memory, and it sharpens your thinking skills, your creativity, your ability to communicate, your ability to focus, your ability to problem solve. And so there's a vast amount of benefits that come from these things. It's not just for the fun of it, because it's got a significant impact on your overall mental fitness and your mental health. And if there's one thing I've learned in working in hospitals for over 15 years, it's one of the biggest worries that people have is maintaining their cognitive mental functions. And if they can maintain those, then they want to live to be 100. If they feel that they're going to live to be 100 and not know who they are or what they need to do and what they forget, they're not interested. So our mental health is an important factor. And so we continue to promote the USA Memory Championship to prove to people there are ways and things you can do at any age that can help exercise your brain, exercise this brain in a way that promotes long-term health, thinking skills, and impacts a positive mood. We'll see you on Friday. You have a good week. We're halfway through it.